Today on PPCC TV News.
A journalist's sudden disappearance gains global media attention.
Audio captured from police radio receivers, moments before gunman opens fire in synagogue in Pittsburgh.
And in related news, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders accuses media of stoking the fire that causes the aforementioned shooting.
All this and more coming up on PPCC TV News. After waiting several hours for her fiancé, journalist Jamal Khashoggi outside of the Saudi consul in Istanbul, it was discovered that the Saudi journalist was killed inside the embassy on October 2nd. It has become apparent that the journalist was tortured while he was in the consul premises and removed the body after his murder. Video and audio evidence has both surfaced supporting these claims. There have already been claims of a rogue operation from the Saudi Arabian government, but had initially denied any interactions or wrongdoing. This has caused a global stir, with Turkey's president demanding to know who killed Khashoggi and President Trump stating it was the worst cover-up ever.
At 9:05 a.m. on Saturday morning, Robert D. Bowers, an alleged neo-Nazi gunman, entered the facilities at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh's predominantly Jewish Squirrel Hill neighborhood. He proceeded to use an AR-15 as well as 3 other handguns on every occupant he could find inside the building. It seems Bowers was looking to target the synagogue because of the Dor Hadash, a reconstitution congregation which rented space in the building and has partnered with Hayas, a Jewish aid organization dedicated to refugee assistance. After finding comments Bowers had published on the Gap social network, it appeared he prescribed to anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. In particular, Bowers had often ranted about the caravan of Honduran migrants, which the right has recently used to inflame the immigration debate. The attack had turned into a major shootout in which several officers were injured. Bowers himself was taken into custody to be charged.
Today, President Trump has announced controversial plans to take away birthright citizenship for illegal aliens who have children within country borders. President Trump had this to say.
It's always told to me that you needed a constitutional amendment.
Right.
Guess
14th
what?
Amendment.
You don't.
You don't.
Number one, you don't need that. Number two,
I mean, that's in dispute.
you could definitely
That's very much in dispute.
Well, you can definitely do it with an act of Congress, but now they're saying I can do it just with an executive order. Now, how ridiculous. We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it has to end.
Have you talked about that with council?
Yeah, I have.
So where in the process?
It's in the process. It'll happen.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Recently, a security camera caught footage of pipe bomber Cesar Sayoc as he planned his bombs.
Cesar Sayoc had his first court appearance here in Miami Federal Court after his arrest Friday for allegedly mailing the pipe bombs to former presidents, Democratic politicians, and other opponents of President Donald Trump. Today was just his initial appearance. He was read his rights, and a judge scheduled another hearing for Friday morning on whether he will be released on bail. The federal prosecutors said they don't want him released on bail. They think he's a risk of flight and also a danger to the community, and so that will be decided. The second thing on Friday will be whether or not he's going to be sent back soon to New York, where the charges are pending against him.
Representing him in the past, he was the most polite, most respectful person that I've ever represented, and so I am choosing to allow the system of justice to go where it goes, that he is innocent. Until proven guilty. I am representing an innocent person as we speak right now, and a person that has treated me with the respect that I could only ask my other clients to treat me with.
In an exclusive interview on the Ingraham Angle with President Donald Trump, he had stated he was going to visit Pittsburgh to pay tribute to the officers and others who were wounded in the incident. This came on the coattails of local Jewish officials requesting he did not show up. Rabbi Jeffrey Myers, who had been conducting services when the shots rang out, gestured at the white Star of David posted for each victim. At each, the president placed a stone, a Jewish burial tradition, while the First Lady added a flower. They were trailed by the first daughter, Ivanka Trump, and her husband, Jared Kushner, who are Jewish.
With rising around the world, our partners at the BBC had put together this segment on the crisis.
When the United States dropped the first atomic bomb on Japan, everything changed. A few years later, Russia developed atomic weapons of its own, and in the Cold War that followed, the world lived in fear of nuclear conflict.
When you hear the attack warning, you and your family must take cover at once.
Russia and the United States were eventually compelled to draft a set of rules to avoid catastrophe. But President Trump has announced he wants to pull out of a key agreement, the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty.
But Russia has not, unfortunately, honored the agreement, so we're going to terminate the agreement. We're going to pull out.
But do we really need nuclear treaties? And should we be scared of a nuclear war? So first of all, what did the INF Treaty do? Signed in 1987, it didn't just cut the numbers of missiles that could be deployed, it actually banned a whole category of weapons, ground-launched missiles with ranges of between 500 and 5,500 kilometers. Washington says that Russia has developed a new missile, a version of the Iskander with a range in excess of 500 kilometers, which is in breach of the treaty. Moscow denies that it's broken the treaty, but the US and its NATO allies are standing firm. So what's going on? Well, Russia and America have a long history of nuclear tensions.
The Soviet Union had insisted that it was sending only defensive weapons to Cuba.
But President Trump's concerns about the INF Treaty aren't just about Russia alone. China isn't part of the INF Treaty and has deployed large numbers of these weapons. America and its regional allies, Japan and South Korea, feel at a disadvantage. If America is out of the treaty, it can deploy and develop new intermediate-range ground-launched systems of its own. So what does this mean? There are fears that the whole system of arms control could unravel. Another key agreement, the New START Treaty, which limits long-range nuclear weapons, expires in 2021. Moscow and Washington could agree to extend this, but if mistrust grows between them and this falls apart too, then for the first time since 1972, the long-range strategic arsenals of Russia and the United States will no longer be constrained by any arms control agreement.
First time I met Morris, the door flew open and I got this larger-than-life personality talking at the top of his lungs.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, man. Oh, I totally forgot. Hold on, let me get this for you. Oh. Just had a magnetic energy. So I thought, all right, we're definitely gonna be friends.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America,
let's do lunch.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color-coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Welcome back. My name is Ivan Alcivar with PPCC Weather Report. And coming up today here, we actually have quite a bit of a nice weather coming in. We're actually looking at Lyman, for example. We're having at 70 degrees. Also La Junta and Wilsonburg, we have a bit of a higher weather. At this moment, we have 60, 65 in both places with a lower of 35 and 33 at night. Checking here, we have also other sections of Alamosa and also Trinidad. Both of them seeing the same weather patterns, looking into high 60s, and low 40s for the evening. Durango, a bit lower, being a bit farther away from the middle of the mountains, so we're looking at more of a 50 on the highs and on the lows, 33s. Here, let's see, and switch. Wonderful. It's on. Give me just a second. Okay. Colby also, there we go. Burlington 20 with Cheyenne Wells at 21. And this we're talking of the lows for tonight. Lamar 21 and Springfield all looking pretty much the same at 19. La Junta, Ordway and Hugo 24, 17 and 23 respectively. Colorado Springs, Pueblo and Trinidad as well as Wilsonburg all looking much lower temperature, so please make sure you stay warmed up and layered up if you can, because we're looking at Colorado Springs 23, Pueblo 30, Wilsonburg and Trinidad at 21, Denver at 20. This is the low for tonight. And looking up next, let's see here. There we go. Denver for tomorrow forecast is looking at 45, Monument 41, Colorado Springs at 43, and Pueblo at 50. Wilsonburg and Trinidad 46 and 47. So once again, we're having a cold front coming in little by little. Winter is coming, so please prepare. And looking here again. Well, so for the next upcoming week, we are looking at a bit of a tonight, excuse me. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and let you know that for the next week, we're actually looking at much better weather. After the first cold front that we're seeing, we're gonna be seeing a bit of a high increase. We're gonna be in the 60s throughout Denver, Colorado Springs, Castle Rock, and Pueblo. Expect 60 to 67, the highest. Also with the lowest at this moment, we are looking up in the 30s. At this moment, this is all the time that we have for the PPCC weather report. Coming up next, we got the sports news report with Roberto.
It's not my first time bartending, so.
It's a sausage party in here.
It's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing, totally last thing.
Yeah.
Is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to.
What?
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
At an official press conference, the Colorado Rapids announced they are now affiliated with the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. It marks the second USL affiliation for the Rapids, having spent the last 4 seasons with the Charlotte Independents. Switchbacks FC head coach and the current technical staff will retain their roles in the club. Additionally, Brian Crockham, Colorado Rapids Senior Director of Soccer Development, will serve as General Manager of Switchbacks FC as part of the affiliation. The Boston Red Sox won their 9th World Series title in 15 seasons Sunday night, defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-1 in Game 5.
The Boston Red Sox are world champs again.
Red Sox win the World Series!
For the 4th time in 15 seasons with a 5-1 win over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Stands packed with LA celebrities like Dodgers fan Jimmy Kimmel and his arch rival Matt Damon. They're supporting the Sox with Ben Affleck, along with actress Leslie Mann and husband Judd Apatow.
As Pierce hits one in the air to left center field.
Game 5 led by the hero of Game 4, Steve Pierce, with 3 home runs in less than 24 hours. Traded from Toronto to the Red Sox in June, the journeyman crowned World Series MVP.
This has been the funnest year of my life.
J.D. Martinez with a solo shot to center in the 7th, padding Boston's lead.
Your first World Series home run to come in the clinching game. What was that like?
Everybody wants to step up. Everybody wants to be, the guy and stuff like that. But I feel like when you get to this point, you don't even care who hits the home run, who gets the hit. As long as someone does it and you're able to just get the win.
On little rest, David Price controlled the mound for 7 straight innings.
You retire 14 batters. You win the World Series. Do you ever think back to that time where you thought maybe you were going to quit baseball in college?
No, I mean, I don't think about that day really ever. That was a lapse in judgment on my part, and my family and Coach Corbin and my inner circle really rallied around me at that time.
And for Mookie Betts, winning his first World Series ring is icing on the cake to what he calls a life of blessings.
A lot of work you do for the folks in your community in Boston off the field, bringing the homeless people food after Game 2. Why do you choose to do that, and will you do it again?
Me and my family take pride in the blessings that we have and giving blessing other people.
And back in Boston, Kenmore Square packed with people singing Sweet Caroline.
We brought the trophy, we're bringing it back.
119 total wins, including the postseason. This is the second most of any championship team in history, trailing only the 125-win New York Yankees of 1998. Roger Federer made more magic on finals day at the Swiss indoor Basel. Roger Federer won his 99th career ATP Tour title on Sunday, beating qualifier Marius Copil 7-6. 6-4 in the Swiss indoor final. The title was the 37-year-old Federer's first in more than 4 months since winning on grass at Stuttgart in June.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I'm Ferdinand. You look at me and think big. You think scary, but I'm a little misunderstood. Funny! Sorry, I almost killed you. We've all been misunderstood. You're not a fighter.
I don't understand that at all.
Kids with learning and attention issues like dyslexia and ADHD are misunderstood too. Take the time to understand.
Best plan ever!
With the right support, everyone can reach their full potential because you can't judge a bull by his cover. Learn more at understood.org.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
In the southeast area of the Springs, the Mission Trace Shopping Center is looking for revitalization.
Well, just picture a community hub, the center of activity in the southeast area, located here at the corner of South Academy Boulevard and Hancock Expressway. It'll transform the Mission Trace Shopping Center and the neighboring businesses too. Nick Bonin has been a manager at the Smoke Academy for about a year, and lately he hasn't seen a lot of foot traffic around here.
Around the holidays and stuff it picks up, but recently real slow for sure.
In fact, he used to bypass the area.
Before I started working here again, I completely stopped coming to South Academy for any reason until I got the job here, so it'd be nice if there was actually stuff to do here and around here.
But change is coming. A community hub will be taking over this lot at the Mission Trace Shopping Center.
A place where people can go. There's been a lot of need for services in one area and a lot of opportunity for small local businesses that are here.
It's part of a 3-year project involving the RISE Coalition, the nonprofit Solid Rock CDC, and the El Paso County Health Department. The project recently got a boost in the form of a $1 million grant from the Colorado Health Foundation.
To identify this space as the home of a growing, evolving concept is really exciting.
The vision is to fill this space with businesses offering entertainment, food, transportation, as well as local nonprofits helping residents.
It'd be great to see local businesses have spots in here too, to really develop their concepts and build, and to create an overall gathering space for the community.
Bonin can't wait to see the impact it'll have on his business and his community.
That'll, pick up business, and that'll be better for me, better for this business, better for everybody around, so I'm pretty excited.
The stakeholders involved will be meeting on Monday to discuss how this space will be used. The timeline for the entire project is about 3 years. Always watching out for you, Colorado Springs, Jessica Barreto, News 5.
At 70 years old, it's never too late to discover one's true identity and calling in life. Prime example being Robert Louis Jennings, the 1999-year-old veteran of World War II, who has since transitioned and now goes by Louis.
Turned out, in the long run, that I was right. I did want to be a woman, but I didn't know it. I knew that at any time I could be involved in fighting and shooting and all that sort of caper. But somehow I survived. Everybody's a hero sometime or other.
That's all the time we have left for today. I'm Abigail Hermosillo.
And I'm Roberto Diaz.
Thank you for watching PPCC TV News. Have a wonderful night.